So I guess we'll do the how-to guide to beat Sleepy Joe. Actually, you know what? I should do that really quick now. After all, it is the title. let me just do a little responsibility here.
Wait, you're getting nervous, man.
Actually, let's go to Elizabeth Warren for a response to your segment. Well, I agree that NAFTA wasn't great, but at the same time, there was a whole binder that I actually paid somebody to do of tweets about me.
Did a hell of a job in your job.
I have a lot of stuff to think about. Yeah, actually, that probably was the most effective person on Warren's campaign. The tweet chronicler. The only person that earned their money.
I printed out every tweet that had a snake emoji in it, added at Warren.
Yeah. I don't have time to talk about the new NAFTA. I'm chronicling snake emojis.
Well, welcome to the staff. You can work for us now.
Thank you so much. Again.
I want you to collate every single tweet that has the word cognitive in it.
Nelson Mandela in the pivotal year of resistance. I thought people were very rude to me. This is, by the way, this is the cycle of, you remember in 2000 and in the Brazilian elections, Ciro Gomes, who actually, I mean, at least he's been a much more effective politician his whole career than Warren, but same dynamic. He represented more sort of like upper middle class bougie liberals and had a slightly center left message, and he didn't make it to the runoff, and he flew to Paris because he was pissed. So I'm sensing a theme of the narcissistic self-indulgence.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Exactly, I know the thing. And the thing with Bernie is he might not do that. And he might have fought for every single important issue over the last 40 years. But there's a guy named Will Menaker who is very mean. So, all right. Very noble stuff. Here's how you beat Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders needs to synthesize a message that involves his actual crusade and his actual purpose, which is deep reform and dealing with the actual crises that beset this country. And he's always been the only candidate who's been serious and credible on that. But he also needs to recognize with the fact that the strategy of just mobilizing youth is naive. It wasn't working. It's not happening. Doesn't mean you don't have the same policies. It doesn't mean you don't have the same rallies, but you need to pivot hard to older folks and folks in the suburbs who are scared and want nothing but to be Trump or some type of normalcy. He needs to say, Joe Biden cannot beat Trump for a variety of reasons. I actually am normal, as evidenced by the fact that I'm a popular politician. The guy still has high personal approval ratings after having an unremittent war waged against him by the entirety of the mainstream and corporate press and Democratic establishment and other candidates for years, because he has an obvious decency about him and a commitment to policy sets that are good for most people. And then he does need to go into the industrial Midwest and say Joe Biden not only voted for all these trade agreements, he fought for every single one at the same time that he was pushing for cuts to Medicare and Social Security. And oh, believe me, he might work with Republicans to cut your retirement. He voted for every single trade agreement that has hollowed out the industrial Midwest. You don't have a job? Thank Joe Biden. You have a medical emergency and you're drowning in debt? Thank the senator from MBNA. And by the way, you can also look at how we might be able to answer all the questions about this horrible record by watching videos like this. Let's do a montage, because I'm sorry. Trying to force down a candidate to face Donald Trump, who is in transparent and radical physical and mental decline, is unacceptable.
Time friend, and she's a friend. She's been my friend in and out of public life.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday. All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
Chris. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. I love this place. Look, what's not to like about Vermont? One of the things I'm proudest of is getting passed, getting moved, getting control of the Paris Climate Accord. I'm the guy that came back after meeting with Deng Xiaoping and making the case that I believe China would join if we put pressure on them. You had people like you had people like the former chairman and leader of the party in Germany.
Go to Joe 30330.
Okay, let's play one more. This is the most recent one. This just happened today. He gave a rally where he spoke for, they clocked it at 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
What's Bernie doing now? Just to contrast, he's doing like 3 45-minute rallies a day.
Yeah. And he usually goes a bit over 45.
So, folks, you want to nominate a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat, a proud Democrat, an Biden-Obama Democrat.
This is not about laughing at this guy. We don't make any, look, we're not above that. We've made jokes, whatever. But the truth is actually on a human level, it's terrifying and it's sad and it's deeply disturbing. But this is a presidential election against, yes, it's going to get forgotten in all of this mix. And the people who have, on cable who have freaked out and hyperventilated the most about how dangerous Donald Trump is are clearly the ones that are most comfortable with him going for another 4 years. But in fact, a barbarous, dangerous, grotesque, fundamentally authoritarian, racist, xenophobic, sexist, and grotesque administration that we need to defeat. And these people are doing every single thing in their power to put forward a man who, besides his record that Trump can run circles around and will run circles around, all to suppress an effort to have a campaign that will actually help working and young people in this country for the first time anything's been done for them systemically in decades, to fight and do everything they can to put forward somebody who clearly cannot do this. And this does need to be a topic of conversation. This does need to be something out there. This does need to be in the news. Because the Democratic Party and a major presidential campaign are, I won't even make I'll half make the weekend at Bernie's joke, but like actually that in a general election in an unprecedented danger of Donald Trump. Of course, we know the Democrats are a major danger as well. But look, trying to do this, share this with folks in your family. Share this with people who don't watch content like this. Because this, if their number one desire is to beat Donald Trump, vote for the candidate who's personally popular and is mentally and physically able to do this. It's a simple point.
If Joe was ready to go, they wouldn't have had all these stalking horse candidates run to take focus off of him for the last 8 months.
Let me tell you this, and I have an enormous amount of affection, including personally, for people in the Sanders campaign. And I think a lot of what they've done going up against these Death Stars is incredible. The organizing is incredible. The campaign is incredible. The fundraising is incredible. They've made some strategic mistakes, in my view. And if they were going up against a 2016 Joe Biden and they made even one of these mistakes, this thing would already be over. Because as I've been saying also for months, it doesn't matter what we think. Joe Biden, we can dislike Joe Biden for a million different reasons. It doesn't matter. He's a popular and liked figure. And it has to be put across to people that this, as somebody was saying earlier today, this is like Muhammad. If you like Joe Biden, this is like sending Muhammad Ali out to fight after he needs to retire. It's not right to him. And it's dangerous as hell for the country. You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.